Hey friends, Pastor Michael from Organic Church. We're excited for another season of growing together. We'd love to have you join us on Sunday mornings at 10 or Wednesday evenings at 7 for friends, family, and a whole lot of Jesus. Is it ticking?
Ticking time bomb.
There we go. It's moving.
Ticking time bomb.
Tick-tock.
Tick-tock. It's ticking.
Nick's in the...
I'm in the driver's
driving.
seat.
Yeah.
I
He's
still
pushing.
feel like
out.
I'm loud. Or
Look out.
maybe it's my ears.
Yeah, your ears might be loud.
What color am I?
You're
Orange?
Orange.
So turn her orange headphones.
That's good. That's good.
There you go.
A lot
Okay.
better.
All righty.
All right.
And I'm all distracted. All the
Lots
stuff
of
moving.
colors,
Buttons.
lots
Yeah.
of colors and
Like
light.
SpongeBob. I
Yeah.
just want to press the red button.
Don't touch it.
Goodness gracious.
Why is a red button is always something bad happens?
Well, because red means stop.
The president has the red phone.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Red is bad.
Yeah.
Your hat's bad. You got a bad hat.
My Buc-ee's hat. Can I tell you, it was 3 stops?
I've never been to a Buc-ee's yet.
Dude,
Me neither.
It was 3 stops to get this hat. I stopped at 3 Buc-ee's to get this hat.
And they had him at every one, but he couldn't decide what he wanted.
No, I wish that were true. So we stopped at one on the way down. Never even thought about a hat. The kids all got something tiny. Like we told them $5 or under, you can grab something. On the way home, I was like, I want a Buc-ee's hat. Like I decided I had to get one. So we stopped at the one in Daytona Beach. Don't ever do that at lunchtime. It was so busy, you couldn't move.
Oh.
And so the only hats they had were Buc-ee's Christmas hats. So I grabbed one reluctantly, but I was like, I'll get it. We got in the car and we started driving home. We were coming home. And I saw a sign as soon as we got on the interstate. 163 miles to Buc-ee's. Well, guess where we stopped?
Bucky.
At that Buc-ee's. So I went in, found the hat. That's all we got. Back out we went. But their brisket on mac and cheese, delicious. That's kind of a thing of mine.
With mac and cheese or on mac and cheese?
On mac and cheese. So you get the mac and cheese, and then they put a big old lump of brisket on top of it.
Someone had that at the market.
Yes.
A few weeks
You know who it was? Fun story.
Is that who?
Yes.
Oh.
TCB Barbecue. It's an Elvis reference.
Oh.
I went up to him and I was like, am I catching an Elvis reference? And the lady's like, yes, you're only the second person who've ever gotten it. I fist bumped her. We talked for a while about Elvis, and then on my way I went. But we're trying to book her for Railroad Festival now because why not?
Yeah.
Where were they from?
They're local, but
Are
I'm
they?
not sure.
Because I had never seen them
Me
until
either.
then.
Yeah, me either.
Huh.
Maybe they're just coming out of the box.
Out
Could
of
be.
the box. Out of the box. Anybody remember that from
Yeah,
our childhood?
I do.
I don't.
Well, that's not your childhood. It would have been our childhood.
Yeah.
How about Mr. Green Jeans? Have you ever seen Mr. Green Jeans?
Nope.
Oh. Yeah. He was on Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, geez. Now, I know who Captain Kangaroo is, but only from a country song. That would
There
have
was
been
more than one Captain Kangaroo, though.
No,
right?
there wasn't. No.
I thought there was one when we were kids, but then there was
No.
also one black and white from way back when. Or maybe it was the same guy, and he just carried clear over into the...
I think there was only one original Captain Kangaroo. Just like Howdy Doody.
It's Howdy Doody time.
What was his clown's name?
Oh, I have no idea. I've never seen Howdy Doody.
Clarabelle. Jeez. Well, you don't know nothing.
I don't.
Yeah, that out of the box tune like lives in my head rent free.
Mine is not
So much.
Mine is not the theme song. Mine's the goodbye song. So long, farewell to you, my friend.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy playing the bongos. Yeah, that was my jam, man.
What, the bongos?
Well, that song. It was just one of those. It was like you could put that on repeat. It's very calming. It's very calming.
Oh, you need to listen to Roy Rogers.
How about Big Comfy Couch? Did you watch Big
A
Comfy
little bit. Did you watch Bear in the Big Blue House?
Okay, funny story about Bear in the Big Blue House. Not entirely appropriate for a podcast, but it's a funny story, so I'm gonna share it anyway. That was pre-me or post-me. That was Brooke, my cousin Brooke's age. So we were at my grandma's house. I had spent the night. I'm eating a bowl of cereal, sitting on the floor in the living room. Bear in the Big Blue House is on. And if you know Bear in the Big Blue House, every time he would come onto this, like at the beginning of the episode, he would and do the sniffing thing. Something smells really good. It must be you.
And puts his nose up to the camera.
Like up to the screen. So he's like, you see the bear's nose. I had never seen the show before. Okay. Now, I was a flatulent child. Might still be as an adult. I don't know. That would be up for debate. Anyhow, I had just passed gas and Bear starts sniffing at the screen. I'm dying thinking there is no way this is real life right now. Turned out it was just part of the show, but I didn't know that. Thought that was the funniest thing ever for I still think it's funny. I still laugh. Anyhow, I know Margie's laughing right now. When she hears this, she's going to laugh. So I appreciate that.
I don't know if this is podcast appropriate, but just
I'm going to say it away. I'm going to say it anyway.
Before I left, she's watching The Grinch with Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. And the Christmas Eve party.
Yes.
Oh, yes, where they put all the keys
What
in
are the Who's doing?
Yes, that's a great question.
Wait, hold on. Let me think.
It is not child appropriate.
No.
It's not kid appropriate. I've always thought that.
But I didn't notice this for years.
Oh, I did.
Wait, what?
And then
what?
Margie said something about it, and I'm like,
Okay.
no, I said, no, they're just putting their keys in the bowl because they're all going to drink. And so, they don't want anybody to drive home drunk. And she's like, no,
I
you
don't
are
think
totally
I
missing.
don't think that's what that's
I'm like,
for.
Oh. Wow, I never caught on to that.
Yeah.
I don't think Chase has either because we watch
Like,
that quite
how
a
did
bit.
they get that past?
Yep.
Yeah.
Producers.
Well, I think it was probably intentional.
That's what I was about to
It was
say.
one of those
Like adult humor
yes.
things. Yeah.
Do you remember Rocko's Modern Life?
Yeah.
Or even Hey Arnold? There were a lot of adult references in those shows, but when we were kids, we didn't know that.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess so.
If my parents would have seen that, they probably would have freaked out that I was watching it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
of course, I wasn't well supervised as a child either. So
That's what happened to him.
no, that was getting hit by the
Oh,
car.
yeah, that's what was getting hit
Late
by the
summer
car.
evenings watching Beavis and Butthead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even need to get into Beavis and Butthead. There's a video game for the Super Nintendo of Beavis and Butthead. My brother and I played that game nonstop for hours. The whole purpose was to get from your house to the Guar concert. Well, I don't know that we ever beat that game. We could get to the last level, but we could never beat it. It was, yeah. So I actually rebought it because I wanted to play it again.
Yeah, that was one of them games where it was more fun just to screw around than it was to actually.
Yeah, to actually beat it.
Yeah. To accomplish the goals. Yeah.
Those
Mark
guys
is
are
like-
worthless.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And did you ever see the two guys that actually look like
Yes.
them?
Yes.
Hilarious.
Hey, Pastor Roger.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you one more time. What
Okay.
was that receipt for at Lowe's for $21?
Gee, Mitty.
You just threw it away, didn't you?
Oh, weed eater string.
Good job. I've only told him 3 times.
Yeah, I always forget.
And I thought maybe he would, write it down, or he was doing what he was supposed to be doing then.
No.
No.
Well, here's the problem. I ask him, and 3 hours later, he texts me back. I'm already done with what I was working on. So,
But to his defense, you should have known that's how that was going to go.
yeah, well, I did.
Thanks.
Actually, what's funny, I had texted both he and Pastor Holly about receipts because I'm multitasking right now. I'm coding all of the credit card purchases. I text both of them at the exact same time about receipts that I needed information on. Both of them text me back at the same time hours later. It was hilarious. I was like, well, they must have been together or something.
Both of you are like, what do we do?
Gotta get this guy off our back. I do tend to be a nag when it comes to receipts because, like, my wife has 18 to code. She does all the checking account stuff. I strictly do the credit card stuff, and I don't like outstanding stuff because it's at the end of the month. It's tedious to try to get caught up. So, anyhow,
Roger and Holly are going through their couch cushions.
yes, yeah.
No,
Cookie
I
jars.
usually have mine. I just
Well, usually you can't read his. They've written in his wallet for the entire month.
and all
They're all worn
all
out.
the inks wore off
Yeah,
of it.
they're all-
Okay. I'm not real sure where this is from.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Or how much it is.
All completely worn out.
Yeah, I can't help it. Well, at least I have the receipt. It may not be legible, but I do have the receipt.
Well, guys, last appropriate episode of the year. How'd that happen?
I don't know. So we were going to release one more yet.
Yeah.
We have
This might be the actual
last recording.
last recording, last topic for the year. Really timely, I will say, because we had this idea for a while and we kind of left it on the list and skipped it and, then decided to do it. And then I couldn't be here the one
took a few
week,
weeks off.
so that we postponed it again.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you know, sometimes that all works out just the way it's supposed to, because, of course, it's the holiday season. And I think for many people, it is the season of expectation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's how we've all conditioned ourselves to be, is that, we don't take, this should be the time when we all slow down and take account of our blessings and take account of, our loved ones and spend a little more time with that. And what do? We
Shop.
try to go even faster.
Shop. Everybody's in a hurry.
I know at my work right now, it is absolutely insane.
Well, you want to get everything done before the end of the year, so
it's
you can
the big push.
Yeah.
Everybody nobody wants to make
Whatever.
the same amount of money last year. You want to make more money.
Yep.
So everybody's just push, and it's just a relay, just every day of just how much more can we get out
Push
the door.
out.
And we're closing in, like next week will be the last full week that we'll have of the year, and then it'll be Christmas week and then New Year's week, and so we're just driving ourselves insane trying to get all this stuff accomplished, and
that makes it even harder.
it does,
You're-
because then you
it
come
creates
home.
new stress.
And you come home, and guess what? You're pretty exhausted. You might want to do some holiday things with your family and make time for this or make time for that. But a lot of people are, you're working overtime at work, and then you're thinking more about that, and then what you should be thinking about this time of year. So, and Michael, your message was just really good.
Yeah, I wish it would have been recorded.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
That's too bad.
No. And here's the thing. It's how it happens. I went into the pulpit frustrated. Like my spirit was not in a good place. I walk into the pulpit and all of that energy was channeled into that message, and I don't get to listen to it. I remember about 40% of what I said. So the other 60% is just gone forever. So yeah, was very frustrated. It wasn't anybody's fault. The system the recording started, but when we pulled it out, there was no file there. So apparently it wasn't meant to live on. It was meant for that moment.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So, I think it carries over into, how sometimes we look at our faith is, I can compare this right now to, I think the present state of, guilty as charged, like with us, with Maggie, like, it used to be fun to go Christmas shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Now it's not fun anymore,
Yeah,
because now these kids, like, it's not a wish list.
It's like a
want
demand.
list.
It's a want/expectation
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, it's like
they don't-
screenshots.
And again, she doesn't write it out anymore like she's writing it to Santa. Now she sends you her wish list on Amazon with a full expectation that we're going to get
That it
every
gets
single
met.
item. And then she sends one to her dad, and then she sends one to the grandparents, and she sends one to the brothers. And it's just like,
Does she send the same one or just different
no,
ones?
she like builds these separate lists for everybody.
Yeah, everybody gets their own list.
And, and
that's
it's
good.
just like, this is not fun
At least she knows she's not going to get the same thing twice.
Well, exactly. That's but it leaves nothing to the imagination, and it leaves nothing to, I think sometimes the magic of, let's say, believing in Santa Claus is this: you have to believe in it. You have to have this sense of belief that he might bring you something,
right?
But anymore, it's just like, it's this expectation, like, I'm going to get
What
it.
is he bringing me?
And or just, and of course they just have, I think with now kids have access to something like Amazon, where before, we looked through the Sears wish book
Or Montgomery Wards.
Yeah. And that was kind of
For
fun,
pennies.
but even that was kind of limited. Like we didn't have all these outside sources that you could go to, and and so like I said, they're building these lists and they get it built up in their mind that they can send one to each loved one that they have, and they have that expectation, and it just leaves no room left for
The magic.
or as I compare it to the faith of believing. And sometimes I think we can look at that with our faith as well, is, when we pray, are we praying because we have faith? Are we believing because we have faith? Or are our prayers our expectations of what we want and what we desire, not necessarily the faith that we have in God to do His will and His choosing, And so I think a lot of times we can get that mixed up.
Well, I posed this question last week during my message, and while it's not necessarily about expectation, I think it's what creates the expectation. So the question is, and it's a big question, what is sin? What exactly is sin? Right? So you can go through the textbook answer, but basically sin is anything that you do that knowingly separates you from God.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair way to explain it.
Yeah.
I agree.
So what I mean by that is if you are a smoker and you put smoking before anything else, if you are a world traveler and that world travel comes before God, any of those things, all of those ultimately become sinful in nature. It doesn't mean that that is sinful, but for you, it creates a roadblock. It creates a hurdle, right? Okay, so the problem is we don't look at sin that way. We look at sin as homosexuality, illicit drug use.
Basically what the Bible, like black and white.
Well,
not even.
But even then, technically, marriage or divorce is a sin according to the Bible. So what the world or what the law will deem acceptable, the church will deem acceptable, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when divorce becomes acceptable by law, then it becomes acceptable by the church. And it takes time, right? It takes time. So we go through divorce, then we start to talk about there's a laundry list of things that we can get into. And then you start looking at the Episcopal churches that are allowing transgenders to be pastors in the churches. Listen, do you, but if the Bible says it's a sin, right? Like that's all.
Well, it's like I said, it might have even been the last podcast when we went to Salem up in Massachusetts. I mean, very different dynamic up there.
Certainly.
And most of the churches that I saw, had the LGBTQ flag on the church, not even on a pole, but on the wall of the outside of the church.
Yeah.
And you just, you have to wonder. And I'm sure maybe in a lot of cases they're trying to say, you're welcome here.
Yes, this is a place that you can come. But God has called us to repent of our sins and to be made new. My wife shared this thing with me, and I never like to throw my wife under the bus because, my wife is incredibly open-minded to, all different types of people and whatnot. But it said, I was born this way. And then it said, yes, then be born again. Right? Like, we can't use that. I was born a complete and total jerk. You know what I mean? Like my life was not the same as it is now.
Right.
I chose to lay those things down. Do I have those tendencies? Absolutely, I do. But I laid those things down and I picked up my own cross and followed Jesus, right? And that's what changed. So the problem is, in my opinion, that the acceptance of sin leads to the expectation that God will change for us versus us having to change for God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our salvation is reliant upon a God who will change himself rather than a God who will change us. That's the mindset.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the world that are not set up well by their parents.
Right.
They start off on a bad foot right from the get-go. But that doesn't mean that's an excuse to say, well, my parents just totally ignored me or, didn't give me the love I needed. And, so I guess this is who I am and it's who I'm going to be. And that's the end of it. You can't change me. That happens all the time. So, that's never an excuse to say, well, because of my situation or the environment that I grew up in or, even things like lack of education, none of those things in the end are an excuse just to remain, who you are. Because it's everybody's goal to see who you are through Christ.
Right. Or it should be.
Yeah, that's the only way that you're going to be able to make that change.
Yeah. Whenever a few months ago, whenever we were talking about doing, expectation and faith. And I just was like, okay, well, we need to know what the difference is between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And the one leads to disappointment, which is clearly expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And the one is persevering during difficult times. So, I mean, because I think a lot of people were trying to use Jesus or God as their genie, and like, oh
yes,
let's, no, that's not, especially during this time,
When you talked about prayer specifically, like, are we going to prayer for His will, or are we going for,
right?
And is it what we want? That's what we're asking for. And I'll tell you that it's oftentimes, far more often than not, and I will give a lot of grace to those who aren't saved or maybe don't necessarily have a great relationship with Christ. Prayer is prayer at that point, right? Like having an open dialogue is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But last Sunday after church, I had somebody come up and ask if I could pray. They were going to stand in for somebody who was ill, and they wanted me to pray that they would get better. And I'm like, well, I'm happy to pray with you, and I'm happy to let you stand in, but I'm going to pray that God's perfect will be done in this situation, because I am not a divine authority. I don't know all of the things. And all I want in your life, in my children's life, is that God's will be done.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. We're not going to understand it, right?
Yeah.
But
That's right.
Yeah.
It's so silly. I think of things like a few months ago, I'm not a pet person.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got 2 dogs, a hamster, fish. I like the fish. They don't need anything from me, right? They're fine. The hamster, she's cute. She's super adorable. You can hold her, you can pet her, you can play with her. She doesn't bite. Most hamsters bite. This one doesn't. I mean, they hold her all the time. She's constantly running around on us. The problem is sometimes my daughter, 3 times now, will leave the cage door open and the hamster escapes.
Oh, no. Hamster on the loose.
Hamster on the loose. Okay. Everybody in the house is devastated because everybody loves the hamster. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, I don't care about the hamster. However,
Milo will eat it.
I'm not even worried about that. Milo eats her. It's
Your
whatever.
daughter.
Nope, not even that. It's
No.
not even that. To me, it pains me to be a poor pet owner.
Oh, yeah.
To leave that hamster loose
Yeah.
in my house means it's not eating, it's not drinking, because it can't reach anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how fair is it to that hamster that I not hunt for it until I find it and put it back in the cage, right? So one night, I spent a whole day looking for this stupid hamster. I did. A whole day. So finally I decided, you know what? I think I know where she's at. She's got to still be in the bedroom because she's chewed up a hole in the carpet. Wonderful. In my brand new home. Chewed a hole in the carpet. And I knew she had. I couldn't find the hole, but I could tell because I found the carpet fibers. She had started to nest it up. So I thought, I'll put her box, she has a little sleeping box, over top of that nest that she has made. And eventually I'll catch her in there. So I turn out all the lights. My kids are at my parents' house. I turn out all the lights and I go with the flashlight because they're nocturnal. I'll see her little eyes glow. Right after it got dark, I open that door and I turn on the flashlight, and there she sits in the middle of the floor. So go to catch her. She jumps up into the bottom of my daughter's dresser. This is where she's been living, is in the bottom of this dresser for a full day. All right. Now, when I pull the drawer, I'm like, I can't pull the drawer out because I'm afraid I'll smash her.
Yeah.
So I pulled the drawer out above it and stuck my head in there. Sure enough, there she sits staring up at me. And it pains me that she went like a full day.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, she found plenty to eat, obviously. She pooped everywhere. But it pained me to see that. I look at the world the same way. It pains me to be a Christian and not raise up other healthy Christians, good, strong, solid Christians, because I know what my expectation of God is, and that is His perfect will, not my will, His will.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm okay with, like, I don't always win. I don't always get what I want. I don't always see the victory that I desire to see.
Yeah.
But I have never once been ever left going, why did He do that, for too very long?
Yeah.
Maybe for a few minutes,
Yeah.
maybe for a day. And then I go, that taught me something important.
Yep.
Something important either about myself or about the other person or about the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a lesson there.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been doing a family Bible study on Monday nights, and my wife's nephew comes over, and stepsons, they join in, and one of the girlfriends. And so we have a fairly good time, and it's maybe like an hour, if that. And we started in the New Testament with Matthew. So we've been doing that like once a week. And we got into this discussion, and, I said to Timmy, everybody just thinks that, again, God, Jesus is this genie, that when they become a Christian, they think, oh, well, does
Since
this mean
I'm
all
on
my
your
problems
side.
are going to go away? I'm
Yeah.
going to start, seeing things happen in my life, and, what I pray for is going to come to pass. And, you start building up all these expectations. And we were trying to, and Margie's son, Charlie, it's really great because he's the type that he's trying to figure out, like, well, how is all this possible?
Yeah.
How could God be real? He's asking all those questions,
Yeah.
like, how is this actually realistic? And, so we're kind of having that talk with him. And I said, and they're like, well, if God is real, then why does he do this? Why doesn't he do that? And it's like, one of the main things you have to understand is God is not trying to create expectation for you. He could give you everything that you desire, but what are you going to do with that?
Right.
Eventually, you're going to take it for granted.
Yeah.
And all you're going to have in its place is this constant empty hole and this expectation. So like people chasing money, people chasing, whether it's cars or, going to Vegas, gambling, whatever you're chasing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
The chase will never end.
Yeah.
And you can never fill that hole up. And it's like God is not trying to create expectation. He's trying to create faith in you.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. He's trying to give your heart faith to believe in him, to do God's will. So that's why he's not going to answer every single prayer that you have.
Right.
Because if he did, you wouldn't be a worthy human being. You would just be this thing just chasing, which, let's face it, we all do that to a certain extent.
Oh, yeah.
We would
And
become
as you-
gluttonous.
Yes, and
Yeah,
as you said,
yeah.
I mean, the non-Christians, it's even worse because, that's what you're living your life for, is to chase that next new car, chase that new house, chase
Yeah.
that new boat. Timmy was talking about this kid. He just wanted a brand new Corvette, had to have it. It's what he always wanted. We got it. And of course, it's wintertime and it started. And, now the salt's on the road and he's been driving it. And, so it's getting scratched.
Yep.
And of course, he's getting stuck. He can't even get to work because, on a Corvette, rear-wheel drive,
yeah.
it ain't going anywhere.
Yep.
So he already hates this car. So, he went from had to have it, it was a dream his whole life, to now realizing that, oh, yeah, it looks pretty, but what is it really doing for me?
Yeah.
Now I have this huge payment.
With beauty comes pain.
Sometimes I can't even get to work because it won't get me to work.
No kidding.
And it's already getting all these scratches all over it.
You probably have to put like sandbags in the back of it
Yeah.
and weigh it down.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's a perfect example of all that, of just, God is trying to create faith. He's not trying to, he doesn't want to just, like you said, he could give you everything you want, but, he's not even going to do that for the most loyal Christian. He's not
Correct.
going to give you
and he's
all you
trying
want all the time.
He's trying to create that faith so you have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
Like,
He wants you to rely on him.
Yeah.
not-
I think oftentimes that exact story, when we think about Job for just a moment, I mean, he found favor with God.
Yeah.
In God's eyes, he was blameless. He was, you know what I mean? Like he was darn near perfect. And God still didn't give him everything he wanted. So I don't think any of us have reached the point of Job at this this stage of our lives. And I think the story of Job becomes mischaracterized as this moment when God allows the enemy to really mess with mankind. And that's part of the story, but I don't think you get the full story by just simply focusing on that. I think you have to look at all of the other stuff. Because, Job lost everything.
Oh, yeah. He lost the most important things in life.
I mean, all of his wealth, all of his family, I mean, literally all of the things that he had and amassed and had developed, and he lost all of it. I mean, there was misery in his life, and to God be the glory. We can't imagine that. We get one inconvenience and we're,
upset.
well, I think about how quick we drop the GD. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
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 it's wild that we think about how quick we're willing to forget about the blessings and only focus on the bad things that happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, what if you use your mother's name like that every single
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How would that resonate with you? Sometimes that's the way you got to think about it. It's like if you use your mother's name in that tone every day, I mean, you have to be like, what am I doing?
I get the snot knocked out
Yeah.
of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking something dawned on me the other day, like kind of piggybacking off of the faith. Like he's building this to have faith. That way you can have faith in him so he can have that relationship. And something just hit me like, you know, he doesn't want us to sin, not because he's some crucial God that hates us. You know, he's putting those expectations on us. That way we have a relationship with him. Like, it's not just a book that tells us, yes, you can do this. No, you can't do that. Like, there's a deeper purpose.
It's not because I said so.
Right. Yeah. It's like, yes, sure, he said these things, but there's a reason why he said this thing. Like, it's because he wants you to have a relationship with him throughout the whole life. And like, if you have that sin, like, you can't have that relationship with him. Like, it's impossible.
And if you do, that relationship will struggle.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say.
Exactly.
You find a way to form relationship, but that relationship isn't true. And I liken it to any good marriage, right? I drive my wife absolutely crazy. It's what I do. It's like my specialty. It's probably one of the things that I'm the best at. And I know for a fact that if I were to do something that my wife didn't like, it wouldn't change how she felt about me, but it would change what she thought about that situation. And it's wild to think that she could care about me that very much.
Yeah.
That's nothing compared to what God thinks about us.
Yeah.
Literally
Exactly.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's a drop in the bucket of what God thinks about us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, even, you know, the whole Advent calendar thing. Like, does anyone know the definition of Advent?
I feel like I should.
It has something to do with expectation. It's like basically the season of expectation,
All right.
because it's leading to like the coming of Christ and everything. And so I've been doing this Advent calendar with Cooper, and it's just like it's started on December 1st, because some people do like 12, I think. Yeah. But we did the 1st through the 25th. And it's just a box, and each day has another, like a box inside of this huge box. So you pull it out, and the first day he's like, all right, this is cool. Second day he's like, oh, okay, because I'll put something different like every third day or something like. And then I think after the fourth day he's like, like wanting more. And I'm like, no, you only get one a day. And then he's like flipping out because he's expecting that he gets this. I'm like, no, that's not how this works, you know? But I thought that was kind of neat whenever we decided to do this topic. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, even for as young as he is, you know, like a year and a half, and he's like, oh, nope, I get another one. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No.
And that's important to mention, is it is human nature.
Yeah.
It is part of our sinful nature to want. Our flesh wants everything. You know, it wants what it wants, when it wants it. And, you know, and most people on a daily basis they don't think any further than that. They just give in to whatever their flesh wants.
Yeah.
You know, and they take no account of it whatsoever.
Right.
And they can't even see like how caught up you can be in something that's totally diverting you from, heck, it can totally distract you from spending time with your family. And of course, social media is just that, that thing that we all desire and want on a daily basis now. And you just don't realize like how much time it is. And it's funny because I was talking to a guy that we do business with today. I just called him to, you know, we just follow up on the orders that we have, what's going on. And so all of a sudden we're in this conversation about AI and about social media and talking about our kids and just how dangerous everything has become. And, you know, so that alone is just something that all human beings now, it's like you can't live without. Your flesh just wants that on a daily basis.
Right.
Yep.
And we're on autopilot now. You know, especially the younger generation, their brains, I truly believe, are not developing the way they should. I think these children's brains are on autopilot.
Well, I also think that it creates stress and anxiety. I think it creates
expectation.
Well, right. You can, and you're exactly right. An expectation of being entertained 24/7.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that it creates, and I think there are studies out there that prove this, but I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but it's like being addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
You need that next, like you're looking for that next high, which is why you continue to scroll.
And whatever your weakness is.
Correct. And that's the algorithm. Like it's the thing that you watch from. Listen, my wife was talking about a skylight calendar. You know what that is?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a big old
I
digital.
thought you got her one.
No.
Oh. I thought you were going to get her one last year.
Well, we ended up getting a digital picture. For
Oh,
her
wait.
because
The big skylight. Yes.
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 So it's a great big digital calendar you can hang on the wall. You can sync your Google Calendar with it, yada, yada. Everybody gets their own color, their own whatever. And my wife is incredibly organized. Our calendar is always like very detailed. So her and I were talking about it. We had a friend that was selling one used because she got a bigger one. And we're like, okay, let's talk about it. It's all I see. It is all I see on my social media because we talked about it. So that algorithm has kicked in and it's like, you really want one of these.
You got to have it. Got to have it.
It's $500.
Yeah.
I can use my phone for the same price that I use my phone for every month, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's mind-boggling to think, though, that like it just keeps attacking and attacking. So do that now to a child who thinks that at Christmas they should get everything that they want. My kids get those little Christmas books. Remember when we used to get those and we would circle one or two things? My kids circle whole pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we'll tell Easton, we're not buying that because you won't play with it. Like, you don't actually like Matchbox cars. You're only circling it because it's in that magazine and you don't have anything else on the page to circle.
Right.
There's nothing else to circle.
Yeah,
so
you're like,
circle.
well, I'm going to circle this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we go through that with him. We don't even buy toys for our kids anymore. Yeah. They don't use them. They don't play with them. Right? We've got a house full of toys that nobody plays with. But it's because they were so addicted to social media and not that my kids have social media, but YouTube Kids even. My daughter listens to, we have Yodos, so they have these little cards and they read you books.
Yeah.
Yodos are fantastic.
Cooper's getting one for Christmas.
Are you getting him, which one?
I told my dad and stepmom to get one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
There is a mini one.
Yes,
but
the mini one, they make a small one. We have a
I think it's
larger
the bigger one.
Yeah, we like that. But it reads books and then it does a Yodo daily podcast. And it's kid-appropriate content that basically it's this guy that gets on there and talks about all of the things that are important, like maybe a celebrity who has a birthday that day or...
Like this day in history in the newspaper.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So it's got all those things. My daughter has learned so many useless facts from that Yodo, but it only allows you to absorb so much content because that podcast is only so long, right? So you can't just doom scroll. So we have actually eliminated almost entirely all of their screen time. So Emmett, it doesn't have any screens at all right now. Easton has his smartwatch. That's it. And that smartwatch only allows him to call me, Alyssa, my mom and dad, and I think that's it. That's it. So the four of us. And Adeline only has her tablet, and again, very limited amount of time that she's allowed to watch it because they will watch people open toys and play with them.
That's what we were discussing today.
And now they want that toy.
baffling.
They want that toy. My daughter, and I don't even remember what it was, but we're in this phase right now for Christmas. She wants this American Girl doll. It's the brand new Girl of the Year, whatever this
They
is.
do have some really cool American
Yeah,
Girl dolls
they do.
right now. We
But
were just
we're
shopping the
up
other
to,
day,
like,
and I was like, wow.
I think we're up to 8
I was
in my
like,
house.
the girl toys right now are kicking boys'
Yeah, they
butt
are.
right now. Yeah.
I think we have 8 American Girl dolls in our house right now. She doesn't play with them. She only wants that doll because it's Girl of the Year, and she doesn't have it.
Yeah.
So add it to the list.
Yeah, I saw the Harry Potter series, the Wizard of Oz series.
The Disney princesses were
Yes.
adorable. Oh my gosh.
Willy
I would have bought her.
Wonka.
I didn't see those ones.
Yeah, Willy Wonka.
I would have bought her every Disney princess doll without even questioning it because they were all adorable.
Yeah, they are cool. I mean, they're... Yeah, they did it right. I mean, they're pretty neat.
When we went to Chicago, we walked 5.5 miles, no joke, because we parked in a parking garage and we're like, because what do they call it? Miracle Mile, I think is what they call it. And we walked the whole street, and American Girl is literally the far other end to get to the American Girl store. We walked in there and bought nothing. There was a dress my wife was looking for that matched Summer McKinney, the doll she got last year for Christmas. The romper that Summer McKinney wears, they sell them for little girls too. We got over there and we walked that whole store. They didn't have them in her size. So then we had to walk all the way back.
Couldn't you Uber back?
Well, we could have, but we didn't. Yeah, that trip was expensive enough.
Roger.
Yeah.
Could have rode scooter.
Can you
That's what I was about to say.
can you imagine asking your parents for furniture for Christmas?
No.
Well, Maggie last year she has this big comfortable bed, right? It's got the brass head and brass, footboard, everything. And had to have this day bed. And we're like, we're telling you, you're not even done growing.
Right.
You're going to get bigger.
Yeah.
The
Don't
last
do it.
thing you want to do is get this day bed.
Yeah.
You're going to regret it. I got it. It's what I want. And of course, and we're like, okay, well, let's get you a good one. If we're going to do this, let's go to, say, Value City. Let's go somewhere and actually get you a good solid bed. Had to have this one on Amazon. Had to have it. It was the only one that she wanted. And of course, if you order any furniture from Amazon, it's a jigsaw puzzle.
Yes.
You are talking hundreds of little pieces that you have to put together. Even before you can really start putting the bed together, you got to put all the drawers together one at a time.
Yep.
All this stuff. I mean, so day after Christmas, everybody's invested in putting this bed together. While she sits back and watches, of course.
Yeah, that's her gift.
Yeah. And wouldn't you know it, now, a year later,
She's too big for
don't
it.
want the day
Just
bed
doesn't
no
even
more.
want it, yeah.
And I just ain't vibing it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're out of style.
Wishes we had the other bed. And I said, remember I told you all of this a year ago and you didn't listen to me? Yeah, I know. I was like, well,
Now you're stuck
next
with
time you get a new bed, you'll have a job and you'll be paying for it. And most likely you'll be putting it together. So we're like, it's just like, so sometimes that's the level of expectation. As I said, I couldn't imagine asking my parents, even as a 14-year-old,
Yeah.
for a piece of furniture for Christmas.
Well, even like
But again, there's now before kids couldn't do that. Like they couldn't look at furniture, I guess. You
Right.
couldn't get, and now, like I said, they have everything.
They
at
have
their
it, yeah.
fingertips. And,
Yeah.
Even-
and they don't see, there's no level of,
like
I'm a child, there's just no level of,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't know what the right word for it is, but they think they're already they're living like they're adults. They're
That's
making
what I was about
adult
to say. Yeah.
decisions.
Like the
We're trying to, at that age. And it's just like, your brain is not even prepared
No.
to reason through this decision.
well, and like you said, like they don't even realize like what Pastor Michael was saying. Like Easton doesn't even realize how much it will cost to have
No,
this toy,
exactly.
No.
let alone how much work it takes to get that money, to get that toy
Yeah.
to
Yep.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand that, which
Nope.
I
And
mean,
we didn't
nothing
either.
on them. That's what I'm saying. Like they're
But I
young,
wanted I wanted like a $5 action figure
right.
when I was,
Yeah.
Now they're
And-
$50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it's kind of our wants and wishes kind of fit our age at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have wanted, sure, the girls probably wanted a Barbie Playhouse, and they were a little more expensive. Or
Yeah.
I wanted Castle Grayskull, and they were a little more expensive.
But I think what the point that you're trying to make, and I want to try to clarify it, is that at our age, we were getting things that were age appropriate.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
kids are getting things that you buy as an adult,
Mm-hmm.
right? As a kid, when my parents bought me a new mattress, it was because I needed a new mattress,
Right.
Not because I asked for one. They didn't buy me new bedroom
not
furniture.
because it was the right aesthetic.
And,
Correct.
and you
Exactly.
knew better. You knew better to even ask for one.
Well, because
You know
it
what I
did-
mean?
right? And I was more worried about being a kid. Maggie, I'm
Yeah.
not picking on you.
No,
by the
no,
way.
no.
I'm just
No.
saying. So, like, we didn't every 6 months decide that we wanted to redo our room and we got to paint it whatever color we wanted.
Oh, no.
I remember my bedroom for the majority of my childhood was unfinished drywall.
Okay, I will say
I had the furniture when I moved out of my parents' house to my first apartment. The furniture that I took with me was the furniture that my brother and I had probably when we were 4 or 5 years old. Like we had the same dresser drawers.
Yep.
yeah.
All through.
Yep.
Childhood.
You knew where everything was at.
True.
I will say growing up somehow like I don't know why we switched rooms so many times. We had 5 bedrooms in like an old Victorian home and there were 5 kids plus mom and dad. I think I switched bedrooms 4 different times and each time when you know it, it was getting painted. And I'm like, now Cindy hates painting. Well, you wonder why. So I'm like, well, to Maggie's defense, I will say that.
Yeah, I get. I mean, I get
Yeah.
it.
I wanted to circle back to like the expectation thing. Like even I guess my sisters and I, we kind of do like we kind of know, okay, ballpark range from last year, this person spent this much, for me. Maybe I'll just, hey, yeah, it'd be nice to have this. And like typically I don't even do that. Typically I just let them get me whatever, but I think Shy might have asked me like, hey, if you need a gift idea. I'm like, actually I do. So she sent me something, and then she actually asked me like, I'm having a hard time shopping for you, like, you know, can you give me some ideas? So I sent her like one of those bird feeders, like the
camera ones.
Yes,
yeah.
and they've been on sale like $30 like this past like week and a half. So I'm like, hey, right there, because they're normally like $90.
So it's a bird feeder / security.
No. It's
Okay.
It's a bird feeder, but then when the birds come in, it identifies the bird and sends it to you. So like you can like bird watch basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like
bad.
that was something I like to do with my grandma. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was one of the last few things I remember doing with her in the nursing home, plus like at her house and stuff. But all to say, like, I kind of know how much to spend now with my sister, but even Chase's brothers, like they'll each spend like, I think it's like $100 on each brother. But they're just sending each other like, and this has been going on for years, like sending each other, you know, screenshots or this and that. And I'm like, at the end of the day, if you all know that you're spending $100, why don't you just keep your $100?
Everybody's done.
Buy yourself what you want. That way you don't have to swap it out.
Yep.
You don't have to wrap it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. For me, the holidays, and I told my wife this, I told my kids this, and I'm going to stand by it. It will not become an exchange.
Yeah.
It's not going to be transactional.
Yeah.
I like to shop for good quality gifts. Now, do I struggle? Absolutely, because I don't buy the same things that my kids would buy, right?
Yeah.
Like my 16-year-old, 15-year-old, soon to be 16-year-old, he likes clothes that I would never pick for him. He likes those, like almost like Jinko jeans. They're not Jinko jeans, but they're the wide flare.
I've seen him walk around town. Yeah.
Okay. And then there's apparently...
He also lives a block away from me.
there's a new, like, almost faded camo.
Yeah.
That's
like
incredibly popular.
That almost like a little, yes.
So he likes that. Now, this kid doesn't hunt. He has no reason to wear camo ever in his life, but it's the thing.
It's the thing right now. Yeah.
And so I'm like, I would never buy him these. Never, ever. So I have to ask him, like, from a style standpoint, what do you want? But if we get to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm just going to get you a $100 gift card, go buy whatever you want. Nope.
No.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't want to get you something, but why? I'm going to buy you $100 worth of something, and you're going to get me $100 worth of something. Why don't we just buy ourselves $100 worth of something?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you know, now that you mention it, like this is probably the first year since Margie and I have been married that I haven't asked for anything specific.
Okay.
But she's like, she goes, you're probably going to hate everything that I got you. And, you know, she's buying stuff for me. I have no clue what it is. And you know what?
I like it better that way. I like it better
you know what?
that
Hey,
way.
it's kind of like being a kid again.
I used to hate
exactly.
I used to hate surprises, and I would hunt the house high and low to find whatever Alyssa bought me. And I mean, I'm talking like when the box would come, I would shake it before I
But then
give
would
it
you
to
feel bad?
No. No, never. I was happy to know what it was. Well, because it also gave me an advantage because I knew I knew what I needed to go and shop for in order to beat whatever she bought me. Because I proclaim to be the world's best gift giver.
Yeah.
Like I like to, and I'll tell you, last year she spent probably less than half of the money on me that I spent on her, and she did far better for me than I did her.
Yeah.
I bought her Caraway pots and pans. Have you ever heard of those? Non-toxic.
Yeah.
I mean, incredibly expensive. I bought her a whole set of Caraway pots and pans. I bought her all the things, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, how much money did you spend? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Do you like them? That's what matters. And it's stuff that like she just wouldn't buy for herself. So I didn't mind spending the money on it because it's for the house anyway.
Yeah.
But she bought me stuff that like I mentioned in passing.
Yeah.
She would remember it. And
Yeah.
so, there was such a difference last year. And it is funny because my expectation has always been fairly low of what she buys me, but she has done much better. But I enjoy the surprise now.
Yeah.
Like I like to know like that she's been shopping, like because it's that like, ooh, I wonder if I'll see the package before she does. But I don't care to know. I don't care to know.
Yeah.
That's hard because a lot of times, like our Amazon accounts are linked.
Yes, I shop on my mom's.
Kind of linked, so
That's
it's
smart.
like, oh, don't try not to look at your Amazon account this month. And I'm like, well, you know, what if I want to get something for you?
Yeah,
and so that kind of gets difficult to keep a surprise.
Yep.
But you know,
I'm in this thing where Chase is like telling everyone he wants cards. And I think it's been happening the past 5 years. But I'm like, can you tell me something you want other than cards? No, I just want cards. I'm like, oh.
I love that.
Have you been to the Dover flea market lately?
No, but we've been wanting to.
No, don't.
No?
No.
Don't.
Seriously?
gosh,
But
they have.
It
Don't.
used to be just junk. Like for a
Yeah.
long time, it was. I really thought it was going to close down, and we just went. We just went last weekend, and wow, it has really changed. They've got a lot of cool stuff in there. In fact, we walked out with a bunch of more Christmas light up blow molds.
Oh yeah.
Like we just couldn't help ourselves because they were well below market value, and we loaded them up. But I'm telling you, yeah, they have got old toys, old cards still in the packs.
Yeah,
even
so-
from like the 80s and 90s.
They have.
I mean, I told her, I said, get a couple packs of cards for me from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Put them in my stocking. I said, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really changed.
They have. There's one guy there that has Pokemon cards like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's like semi-new. It's sort of new. It's newer.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know that he has anything that's like wildly hard to find. But
Yeah.
a lot of it's still in packs. And, my kids always like just the boxes, the empty boxes.
Yeah.
So they have those. So they snatch up stuff they've never seen before or whatever.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah. I was really impressed. Because when we were kids, my mom had a relative who had a booth there. And I believe every Saturday or Sunday, I had to go to the Dover Flea Market. Yeah, Saturday we went to the Dover Flea Market. And then every Sunday we went up to Garver's and Strasburg.
Oh, yes.
Every weekend.
Yep.
And then, of course, that's when like baseball cards and stuff were like really hot.
Yeah.
So I had a good time there because I'd always get cards and stuff. But that's where I spent a lot of my weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And when when I went in there, I'm like, some of those same vendors that I saw as a kid, they're still sitting
still
there.
there.
At the booth.
Yep.
Wow.
That's cool.
And they were old then.
Yeah, and they were old then. Like, is this a den of vampires? Or
It is wild. It is wild.
So yeah, but again, I thought it was on the verge of closing down, and now they're open Fridays.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're open to like 9 to 6 on Fridays, and a lot of cool stuff. So check it out. Don't check it out. It's on you now.
Yeah.
Sorry if I. So yeah, so you might be able to find some stuff there that
Yeah.
he wouldn't know. I guess maybe he wouldn't know about. And it's all cash though. You have to have cash.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I figured. That's fine.
there would be no trace of you're not getting
Yeah.
a receipt. So you could,
Very true.
You could get
No
some,
paper trail.
Yeah, you could really keep a
Yeah.
secret. I think if
Yeah.
you found something there.
He went to a card show at the mall the other day. Sunday.
They still do those?
So they did one a few months ago, and he was so sad he didn't know about it. And then people were talking about it, saying it was good, and it was at Newtown Mall. So then he went. I think it was Sunday after church, or maybe no, it was Saturday. Yeah, but he said it was pretty decent. So yeah, talk about expectation, buying all those cards, and then you think I got to be hitting
Yeah.
something,
Oh,
and then you don't.
I don't even want to talk
That's
about
a black hole.
Yeah.
I got into that for too long. That was
Yeah,
dangerous.
it really
Yeah.
is.
I have 4, I think, at this point, complete Pokemon sets, but it was. I would kill somebody to complete the set. It was wild. It was a wild time. I was glad I finally got a hold of myself. But I mean, I'm talking. Seriously, it was bad. It was really bad. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money was no object in that moment. It didn't matter because they were hard to find. And so if you found them, you just bought everything you could get your hands on.
Well, and that's Chase. He'll still, I don't know. I think he has it figured out that they stock on Thursdays or Fridays in Walmart, maybe.
Yep.
And he's seen these same 2 people.
Yeah, they just hover.
No. These same 2 people have been hovering, but then they've gotten into a fight twice.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. He's like, and it was male and a female.
So stupid.
Yeah, most of the time if you go to Walmart in that section, there's nothing.
Nothing.
There.
No.
Picked over.
It's cleared
Completely
out.
picked over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, kudos, I guess, to Pokemon, but man.
Yeah.
Is the Pokemon Go still a thing?
Uh-huh.
That over? Is it?
It is that church right across the street from me. That's a spot. What's
There used to be one out here. I don't know if it is now.
Yeah, we used to be a Pokestop. I don't know if we still are.
My aunt does it every now and then just to do it with her grandkids, just to get outside.
I mean, for a while it was like
stuff.
zombies. I mean, it was just,
Yeah.
I didn't really notice people doing that. But
I never got into it. I couldn't really.
yeah. I mean, I remember we went to the Smoky Mountains,
And would see.
and no matter where we went, no matter what site we were going to, tens upon, people just wandering around like zombies trying to find these Pokemons up on.
Well, so are you looking at the phone the whole time, trying to find it as you're
I
walking?
think
Do you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Because like they're looking in the bush, they're looking, they're looking.
Well,
down.
yeah, it's just like if you open it on your phone, they pop up on your phone.
Yeah.
whenever they're
Okay.
by.
Okay.
And so you walk towards whatever landmark it is.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you can spin it and collect the Pokeballs. And
But my question always was, is there only certain Pokemons you can find, say, at the Smoky Mountains?
yes.
Or are they everywhere?
So okay, like when,
Monopoly.
When
at
Pokemon,
McDonald's.
when Pokemon Go first came out, Kangaskhan, who is kangaroo, was only available in Australia.
Oh.
You couldn't get him anywhere else.
Huh.
There was one that was origami. I forget what his name is, but he's like folded origami. He was only available in China. Charizard was more prevalent in China than he was in Japan, than he was anywhere else. Farfetch'd, you could only get in Asia. So they had certain ones that you could only get in certain places, but that was when it was Gen 1. Now they've opened it up to pretty much anything, and it's a disaster. Like I lost interest. I wanted the full 151, the original set, and I didn't complete it. There was only one that I didn't get, and it was Aerodactyl. It was the only Pokemon I didn't find. And I used to spoof, so I would set my phone to basically walk north all night long. And so my guy would just you had to hack your phone to do it. It was, again, I have this thing with completing sets. So it was almost like a disease.
You're just like a lemming, just ready to just walk right off the cliff.
So listen, I would spoof in Australia. So basically I would set my phone's GPS to say that I was in Australia. I was in,
Are you kidding?
No. No.
Michael.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I could catch all of them. And one night while I was walking, I woke up in the morning and Aerodactyl had been spotted on my phone, but I was asleep, so I didn't catch it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to alert you?
It doesn't know. Back then it was still very rudimentary. Like like your phone would buzz when you got close to a Pokemon, but basically I would do that to hatch eggs. I would let it walk all night to hatch eggs so you could get different Pokemon out of the eggs. But he was the only one I never caught. And after I gave up on it, my son transferred all the Pokemon to himself. So he got all my good stuff. But,
At least you can transfer the stuff.
yeah.
That's cool.
Well, and we had these, oh my gosh. It's seriously, it was a disease. I just can't. It was bad. It was really bad.
Talking about an addiction.
Oh,
Yeah.
Listen, and I again, I've told you guys this. I don't deny it. I have an addictive personality.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And if I have one, I have to have them all. Like, you've got to complete the set. It's just how it is.
What if there's only one in the set?
Well, then I'm happy to get the one.
He's probably, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what fun
Boring.
is that? Yeah, what fun is that? That's not even a challenge. And the more the merrier. Like, the more items that are in the set, and I really... Do you guys remember when Cars first came out? The movie Cars? They made those little die-cast cars. Collected every single one of those, including all of the misprints. Worked at Walmart at the time. Every morning when I got to work, I'd go over and I'd thumb through the cars of anything that was put out the night before.
Yeah. If you're a big antique shopper, the one thing you notice is the Beanie Babies.
Oh my gosh. They're worth nothing now.
They're worth nothing,
No.
but you'll see a lot of them in the glass cube.
Yeah.
In the cube, and like at one time,
$799. Nobody's paying that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I mean, they're just, antique shops are just full of.
What about the Cabbage Patch Kids?
Surprisingly, you will see quite a few of them. Now, most of the time, you could tell they're well played with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're still somewhat sought after. I mean, I know there's some of them that go for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
But you'll see. I mean, you do see them quite frequently, though, and a lot of times they're missing their clothing or part of their clothing, or you can just tell they're really soiled and well played with, as they should be.
Yeah.
Boy, all that old stuff's worth a buck, isn't it? I must be worth
that's
a
the
million.
thing is, if they made anything that wasn't meant to be collectible, it's worth something.
Yes.
If they made it to be
Yes.
collectible,
it's worth nothing.
it's worth nothing.
Yes.
Correct. Right.
Even baseball cards were not
yes.
truly meant to be collectible at the time.
I was listening to a podcast about Beanie Babies, and the gist of a Beanie Baby was, it was basically this guy was trying to sell stuffed animals. He was a toy salesman, and he sucked miserably at selling all of these other toys. So he had found this particular animal that was fairly firm, and it had beans in it, and they were selling really well. So he decided to design his own and make them floppy. And then when he was selling a ton of them, and then he got the wise idea to start retiring them and changing their names and changing their colors. And now it's got spiked hair rather than flat hair. And he would do all of these things, and people would eat up the variations.
Yep.
To the point to where, I mean, in the 90s, when these things were popular, when people marriages would end, people would get divorced, they would fight over their Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
They would go into court and they would fight over who gets the
that was
Beanie
in the prenup. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Beanie Baby.
Yeah.
The reason I was asking about the Cabbage Patch Kids is we were listening or watching something right before I got here about like Christmases leading up to like starting from the 1930s or maybe the 20s,
Christmas
like
1984.
the top toys and stuff. And like I think the 30s was like the savings bonds, like that's when the savings bonds first came out. But the Cabbage Patch Kids were like, someone was trying to get to one at a mall and like she ended up getting it, but like it was torn to pieces, but she didn't care, she still got it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Same thing with these little troll looking things.
Yeah,
those things?
the trolls.
Yeah.
That's not a. That's
My
not-
wife loves those.
You know what I'm talking? Okay.
Yeah, she'll
That
pick
thing's
them up at
frightening.
antique shops. Yeah, she loves them. She has a bunch of them.
So that was invented by like some dad that just wanted to make a doll for their like his daughter, and now they're like some huge thing, or was some huge thing, is some huge thing. But
Okay. Do you guys remember the Furby?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
Furbies.
So
I still have my two.
So do you really? So my grandpa has one still in the box, and he and I had talked about selling it, and they're $50 is the average going price.
Yeah.
The white one.
Yeah.
So I think that was the one that I had, but I think mine had white ears on the inside still. I don't think it had
I
pink ears.
think that one
This one,
was Shy's.
I was going to say, one of my siblings had that one. And it seems like the speckled ones sell for more. Like that one's like Ladybug. This one's like cow print. Those ones sell for a little bit more. But anyhow, my grandpa has one, and I thought about selling it. So do you guys remember a few years ago when they brought out the Hatchimals?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So we bought
Yeah.
2 Hatchimals because my kids were like, oh, we got to have them. And to me, it was nostalgic. It was like having a Furby. It was nothing like having a Furby. Those things were stupid. Once it hatched out of the egg, it was a useless toy.
Well, and the Furbies, they could like talk to each other.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, pretty sure they were trying to take over the world.
Probably.
Well, of course, then they moved on with like the LOL dolls. You didn't know which one you were getting.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it created even more mania.
Well, and so we did Lego minifigures for years. Okay, so they would come in these little plastic packs. My wife and I got to the point where we could feel them and tell you what was in the pack.
Lego minifigures?
Lego minifigures.
Okay,
So
okay.
we could feel them and tell you what was it, because they come in pieces and you have to build them.
Is it like 15 pieces? Like 10 to 15 pieces?
No, these are. It's just a minifigure. So it's,
Oh,
you've got
okay.
You've got the head, the hair, the accessory, the top of the body, the bottom of the body.
Okay.
So like if it had short legs, you knew that it was whichever one on the package that was a short one. If it had a sword and you could feel the sword, you knew it was that one. So we would go into stores and we would sit on the floor and feel these things so that we could get the entire collection. I'm not joking about this, okay? They got to the point to where they started putting them in boxes so you couldn't feel them anymore. And then because, I mean, my wife and I, they were like $4 a piece. It wasn't like they were a lot of money, but still,
adds up, yeah.
when you buy 16 of them in every set and the sets are literally overlapping each other,
Yeah.
you can't keep up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a wild ride.
I just
But two thoughts before it escapes me. 1984, Christmas, I believe that there were store managers that would stand at the door before they opened with ball bats
Jeez.
because that's how bad the crowds were trying to get those Cabbage Patch
Oh,
dolls.
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it got so violent
Yeah.
that store managers were standing at the door with a ball bat, basically telling them, like, we're not having this. Like, if
I'll
there's
whack
if
you in
there's
the
any
melon.
trouble, you're going down. And you can watch clips of women just tearing each other apart. People, I mean, I think people were getting trampled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
People were getting trampled over them, and so that's when store managers started getting
Black Friday massacres.
so that's kind of when the
True.
whole mystique of the Black Friday, I think, began. And Cabbage Patch Dolls is just kind of one of those infamous moments.
Yeah.
But also going back to the Beanie Baby, I think the Home Shopping Network
Oh, yeah.
had to be an advent
Oh,
of
yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
yeah.
That kept people glued to their
For
TV
sure.
24/7 when they were selling them things.
Yeah.
Matter,
Because
like if we were a kid, no matter whose house we went in, they're watching the Home Shopping Network. People just addicted to it,
Yeah.
couldn't get away from it, and they knew it, so they would just keep bringing these Beanie Babies out
Correct.
and keeping people glued to the set, just ordering, all day, all night long. And
Speaking of expectation, you know how you're expected to go to jury duty if you have jury duty.
otherwise you go to jail.
Yeah. My sister sent this into our family group chat. Just Mallory things. She calls me and tells me she got called in for for jury duty, but she says she can't go because she already has plans.
Well,
Ooh.
I get, yeah.
Your plans are changing now.
yeah. And they're going to pay you $4 for being there, by the way.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can see Maggie saying something like that. I already had plans.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not anymore. You don't.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on jury duty?
No, not
Listen,
I was on grand.
kinda
I was
want
on
to.
grand jury.
Yeah.
I got called one time, and I wish I would have known that the earlier you are there, the closer your number is. Like, if you're the first person in line to sign up that day, you're the first person they interview. So long as you pass, you're on the jury, right? Because mine was just about getting out of work. I didn't care about it was like, you can pay me the $4, I'll donate it back. I don't care. But I really desperately wanted to experience a jury trial, and I was 2 people away from getting seated. So I know.
Dang. My friend just did the one about the guy who tried to murder the she said they took her out to the scene.
Ew.
And not
Really?
not the kind of the road and kind of just to envision what happened type deal.
That's wild.
But
Yeah, I never knew they took him to
they took
scene
you
of the crime.
Yeah,
Take
in a
you on a field
sheriff's
trip.
van, the 15-passenger van took
They
you
did that on the OJ
out.
trial. Now, obviously, the OJ trial was a little bit bigger, but they did that. They took everybody to OJ's house.
Huh. I didn't know
I'd have been
that.
taking selfies.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't have cell phones.
No.
that day. Not with cameras, at least.
No. Yeah, I think she was on it all week, and she sent us a picture of her check, and it was $98 or something. But
Yeah.
You got to wonder, if cell phones would have been more prevalent at that time, would the OJ murders have even happened?
No. No, there's so ring cameras, they really do stop a lot of crime.
they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, so.
As silly as it sounds, but
Or even lead to
arrests.
arrests.
And,
Or,
Yeah.
OJ doesn't have to go to the house. He can just call her and keep calling her or, something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You could just imagine that being a lot different. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would have prevented that.
I'll tell you what, though.
Yeah, what was your grand jury experience? Was it something to...
Well, you heard more than one case.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, your responsibility was to
you heard
decide whether or not they were going to be indicted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you heard at least 2 a day. Sometimes 3 if they were short. It was an experience.
Wait, so grand jury duty,
Grand jury.
is that...
Are they bringing the convicted in?
No.
No.
Okay.
Does each county still have a grand jury duty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're basically hearing the case to decide whether or not it goes to trial.
Yeah.
Grand jury, so if somebody gets murdered, that comes to the grand jury, and you guys decide that they decide whether or not there's enough evidence.
Yeah,
to
enough
even pursue
evidence
a case.
to have them.
They don't get to decide the case. They
Right.
just decide whether or not it goes to trial.
Gotcha. Dang.
But that was an experience.
I bet.
You wonder about a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. Wonder how people can be that morbid and
How
do
long-
the things that
That they do.
a month.
Yeesh. How long ago was it?
This is back in year 8.
This is back when Jesus was still
you're
around.
8.
2008?
No, it was back.
Back in my day.
Walking around on his dinosaur.
He walked 15 miles in the snow to get to the courthouse every day.
Uphill.
Uphill.
Yeah,
Both ways.
Paper bags on his feet.
Yeah.
it was probably in the 70s.
Okay.
Late 70s.
Well, and honestly, I feel like a lot more crime happened in the 70s to 80s because there wasn't a ton of video footage. And do you agree, Michael? The crime, you don't think?
No.
Compared to now?
I think people got away with more stuff back then, but I don't think more crime happened back
Yeah.
then. I think it was a much different time. It's the
Yeah.
fluoride in the water is what it is. I'm kidding. But there's definitely something has happened in our society. Listen, okay, we're just going to, parents, turn this off if your kids are around.
Yeah.
Last Monday, so that was 2 days ago, I was sitting at work and I was talking to one of the guys at work. I was working in his office with him. He was showing me some stuff. And I get an alert on my phone, and there's a news article that in Canton.
The guy tried to stab his parents?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. This one's worse. It's 9:30 in the morning. It's 9:30 in the morning when I'm reading this article that the police are investigating a shooting in a strip club in Canton. Question. Why are you in a strip club before 9:30 in the morning? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you in a strip club at all? But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, no, we know why you're
Like,
there.
are they still there from the night before?
I
Or
don't
like,
know.
are they opening
I
that
don't know.
early?
I don't
like-
know.
They have a night crew.
Yeah, but it's 9:30 in the morning, okay, and now we're shooting somebody. So
Maybe he was mad there wasn't a continental breakfast.
I don't. You don't
Yeah,
know.
could be.
Ooh, why are you eating breakfast there? There's a lot of. They say don't get steak from a seafood restaurant. I would say just don't eat if you go there. Like, that's not good. Anyway, it's not funny, but it's disgusting. Anyway, so yesterday, I was sitting at his desk all day. I got home and I get another notification that there was a shooting in the strip club. Now, I don't know if it's the same one. Tuesday evening.
No.
What is going on in this world? Now, those places are full of cameras, so these people are getting caught. Like, there's no doubt that they're getting caught.
Yeah.
But what has happened in our society that we think, again,
That we're not
being
gonna get
there,
caught?
being there
Yeah,
at 9 o'clock in the
okay.
morning is acceptable, and then we're just shooting each other. Now, I'm all for owning guns. Everybody can own all the guns they want. I don't really care. You're never going to stop stupid people from owning guns
Yep.
or committing
Yep.
crimes, right? You're never going to outlaw either of those things.
Yeah.
So I would rather you have a gun and be protected than not. But my point is crime today is far more rampant than it has ever been because we don't know how to communicate
Yeah.
to just say, like, hey, I don't like the way you're talking.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just going to jump to conclusions.
So
jump to my...
rather than tell you that, I'm just going to shoot you.
Right.
And that's much easier. It's wild. It is wild to me. And it's not just that. I mean, I'm talking in Philly, that guy hit the other guy with his car because he didn't like him.
Well, with with concealed carry and all this, people I think feel they have a more right than ever.
Yeah.
To shoot another human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether they have, the license or not.
Right.
It's just the way that we think as a society now.
Well, you're not even... You don't
you
even
have more
to
right to
now.
do it than
Yeah.
Like Ohio, you don't even have to have a license now, which is...
Well, to
not-
open
yeah.
carry, right? You have to have a license to conceal carry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can open carry.
You can open
Yeah.
carry?
You can open carry in Ohio, but you can't conceal carry.
So what's the
down.
difference between open and concealed?
Open carry is if
Open
my
is
gun
if-
is on my side and you can see it. Concealed carry is under your coat.
Under your coat, under your vest,
Yeah.
in your purse.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're either John Wayne or
Listen, when I worked
Who
in
would-
when I worked in North Canton, I worked for Walmart in North Canton. We had a guy come in with, I don't know, and it had to be a big old Magnum 757 or whatever they call those things.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah, seriously,
44 Magnum?
seriously, this thing was on his side and it looked like it almost touched his knee.
It's a big hog leg.
It was stupid. And like there's people freaking out in the store. He's not doing anything wrong. Technically, it's legal.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no sign on the door
Yeah.
that says you can't have a gun, And I said to him, I said, listen, I don't care if you carry the gun or not. However, it's causing a lot of problems. Can you just put it away? Like, take it back to the car.
Yeah.
Can we just be considerate? And again, why a gun that big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to create chaos,
Yeah.
which is exactly what he was doing. But
Yeah.
I'll sue you. I said, I'm not telling you have to take it off. I'm asking you if you will. Will you be
As another human being.
will you
Yeah.
be considerate of the other
Yeah.
people in the store and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
put it away?
Yeah. Wow.
The answer was no, by the way. a hard
I
no,
kinda-
non-negotiable.
I kind of figured that.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's only a few places you can't take it.
Yeah,
Hospitals and government buildings.
and if they have a sign that says that you're
And
not-
if there's
Yeah.
a sign.
yeah.
Schools?
Schools, yeah.
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 Yeah. It's a big one.
I mean, I even had to give up my razor knife when I went to the hospital.
We went on our cruise and we were very careful on what we packed because we knew like you can't take steamers, you can't take anything that's like high energy consumption. They don't even have refrigerators in your room on the cruise. You get a cooler. Seriously, it looks like a refrigerator, but it just like if you put it in cold, it stays cold, like cool-ish, but it doesn't cool.
Yeah.
And I had packed my razor blade. Like I had it in one of my pants pockets. I tossed it on the top of my bag. I didn't realize till we got home that they had confiscated it. Because they go through your bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will just take whatever's in there that they don't want you to have. Now, when you get off the boat, there's a table that's for confiscated items, and you can go over and collect your item.
You didn't know.
But I didn't know it was
gone.
confiscated, so I had to go buy another one. It was only like $15, but that's not the point.
Huh.
Wow.
It's like, when I flew to Germany, though, I had a little pocket knife, and I had that thing with me all the time.
Well,
But
On
this
a-
was
on a-
that was back. I was back in.
on a plane, though, it's the size of the blade. now. Back then, it probably didn't matter. You could also probably still smoke on the airplane.
Oh, no.
My dad tried to take one in the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, it didn't happen, did it?
And the way my dad was, he couldn't understand why he couldn't have it. I mean, it was like this, this big. And he just couldn't get it through his head. Like, I'm Jeep. Like, I'm not going to hurt anybody. Why do you have to confidence? And they're like, listen. I'm like, Dad.
We don't know you.
I'm like, you cannot come in this building unless you leave it outside. He goes, well, I don't want to leave it outside.
Somebody's going to steal it.
Yeah, but he just couldn't fathom like why somebody would think that he would do something with his pocket knife. And so I think he tried to hide it or do something outside, maybe by a trash can or something, but I don't think he got it back. Because when you leave, you exit through like
go
the
through a
other
different
end.
door.
It was not worth going back for.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that. Like the lady just kind of kept trying to explain it to him, and he's just like looking at her like, I don't.
They won't let you fly with toothpaste.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine they're going to let you go into the Capitol with a pocket knife.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was funny.
What do you mean they won't let you fly with toothpicks?
Toothpaste.
Oh, toothpaste. If it's in a little tube.
You can put it underneath, but you can't take it in your carry-on either.
Who needs to brush your teeth on an airplane?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right. Buy it when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you can buy it once you go through security too. At those little convenience
but they
stores.
know
$10
that they know that it's been
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
been checked. So
Yeah.
although let's be honest, how much are they really checking that stuff? It comes from a secured supplier. That's the only reason they say that it's been checked.
Yeah.
I'll say, I think it was back in 2015. I went to a Browns game and it was like January 2nd, like freezing. I think it was like the week of Christmas, like that weird time. And I had Carhartts on. You're going through all these metal detectors, and I'm sitting at the game, and it's like the third quarter. I put my hands in the Carhartts, and I pull out these bullets. I'm like, well, that didn't.
Bullets?
Yeah. It was from when we were like going hunting and stuff, and like they were just still in there, unused and everything, but it didn't let them off or anything. Metal detectors did not do a thing. I was like, wow.
Aiden took a screwdriver through. When we flew to Florida.
Through the airport?
Yes. Yes. He got stopped, but
okay.
we go through the airport. We go through security, and the lady says, "Who has the red cinch sack?" And I said, "He does." And I said to him, "I said, what do you have in your bag?" And he goes, "My pencils."
Yeah.
Because he likes to draw, so he had like really sharp pencils. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, it's whatever, no big deal." So we go over there. She pulls a screwdriver, this red and black screwdriver, out of his bag, and she goes, "What's this for?" And he goes, "Oh."
To sharpen my pencils.
He says, I took the skates out of my Heelys because he wore Heely shoes. And he's like, I just threw it in the bag. I didn't even think about it. I said to the lady, just throw it away. She goes, no, it's fine. It's short enough. You can keep it. Puts it back in the bag. And on the plane we go. Apparently it wasn't long enough to hit any vital organs. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
She just gave it back.
We got stopped for Cooper's powder. Like his formula.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, come on. I have a pack and play. I have
what do you
diaper
think?
bag. Like, they're looking at me, and my dad's like, Sydney. I'm like, what? You want me to just travel without the formula?
Yeah,
like, I was going to buy some down in Florida anyway, but
fine.
I need some, like,
He
from now and 12 hours from now. And
He doesn't need to eat. It's fine.
no,
It's fine.
We'll starve him.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can deal with a crying baby on the plane while his ears are popping, Dad. Go for it.
Yeah, no kidding. What else was... I've seen people... I've heard horror stories of people getting stopped for the dumbest... Oh, when we went to D.C., Alyssa was nursing at the time. We didn't take the kids, so she was pumping. And then, so while we walked around D.C., we were carrying a cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because she would pump. We would put it in the bag, put it in the cooler. We get to the Holocaust Museum. They won't let us take it in. And Alyssa's like,
This is liquid gold.
She said, I'm not dumping this. She said, I'm absolutely under no uncertain circumstance am I dumping this.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, then you can't come in. And she goes, oh, but we can. Because technically she's a breastfeeding mother, so they can't stop her.
Right.
For, like, that would be.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think they eventually did let us go in.
Yeah.
But it was an ordeal. Yeah. There wasn't any ice in the cooler or anything like that, but they said you can't take liquids in. So, yeah, they did eventually let us in.
Oh, my.
Quite fun. Never expected that.
Yeah.
Boy.
That was a loose pullback.
Yeah.
Well, any about that time.
It is.
Any final notes there, Sid, or any
Not
final
really.
thoughts? Or
Let me see.
I'm not allowed to think. I'm not paid for that.
I'm too old to think.
Oh, yes, I can end it on this. We need to always be expecting Jesus' return. You know, we can't be like, we can't have like the deathbed salvation mentality.
Yeah, people say that all the time. I'll just get saved before I die. Well, it's not quite that easy.
And like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to go through life like, okay, yeah, Jesus is going to come back someday. Like, yeah, whatever. But like, no, you need to expect that he's going to come back. Yeah. Like, you need to be ready. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, because we weren't called to just get to heaven. We were called to bring heaven here. We were called to preach the gospel and to encourage people to be saved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some good in expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah. Yep.
Properly managed.
It's hard to do.
Yep.
And the enemy constantly wants to make it harder.
I wanted to circle back at the way beginning when it was either Michael or Nick was talking about, I think it was Michael, with the basically like having God bend his rules for us. Like, I saw something today saying, you know, that's not Christianity. That's like spirituality. That's like manifestation. That's a whole different realm. Like, Christianity and having a relationship with Jesus, that means you're sacrificing, like you're putting your stuff down every single day. That way you can have this relationship and have eternal life. Like, manifestation and everything else, that is that's just not, I mean, yeah, it is selfish. You know what I mean? Like, it's self-wanted things where, and I think people are trying to skew the Bible and skew Christianity to make it like that. So we're like people pleasing and we're just, trying to make everyone happy, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
As I've said many times, I mean, we've come to this idea that kindness is something just innate within all of us that we should just follow. Like, everybody should be kind. I mean, it sounds good. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yes, we should all be kind to
But
each other.
logically,
But what is the source of that kindness?
Right.
Well, because if you don't understand the love of Christ, you have no moral compass. You don't understand morality technically. Because what is moral? We don't murder people, right? We don't commit adultery. When we talk about morality, we look back to the 10 Commandments or the teaching of Jesus. That's what we've based morality on.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a good person, whether you believe in God or not, you want to be a good person, you have to have somewhere to base what is good and what is bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if it is baseless, if there is no list of what is right and what is wrong, then that means that murder is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's no like,
I mean, it's kind of like Pinocchio. You know, when he gets roped in, he gets conned into going into the, what do they call that? What do they call that on Pinocchio? It's where all the boys go to pretty much do as they please.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think they called it Pleasure Island.
Yeah. And so the guy makes it seem like, you don't need all these rules. You don't need to be a good boy. You don't need to follow everything that you've been taught. Over here is this place where you can just do what you want. Everything's accepted and everybody's happy. And then, of course, he gets over there and it's, that's not the case.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems over there. And once you're over there, good luck getting out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's as simple as that. It's just like, we can make anything look good.
Yeah. And the world's going to try to make it look good.
Yeah.
Shiny.
So kindness is, it's a great notion and we should all be kind to each other, but we have to know where that source comes from. It's not just something that kindness isn't just something that we're born. I don't think we're born with, it has its source.
Yeah. I have a friend who she's not a close friend, but she's a friend. Like, I graduated with her. She's one of the most kind-hearted people, but she's an atheist, So it's like, it goes both ways.
Yeah. And it's interesting because this is the part that with atheism that I can't understand. That means you believe in nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
But she'll say that she believes that Jesus was a person at some point. I'm like, all right, that's a start.
Well, but if you believe in nothing, what do you think happens?
Yes.
And I don't mean like in the afterlife, but like, again, that moral compass. How do you
Yep.
How do you gauge
Navigate.
moral compass? How do you navigate what is right and what is wrong? Because if you don't believe in the Bible and you don't believe that Jesus lived and you don't believe in God, 10 commandments don't exist to you. What is right and wrong?
Right.
And don't try to tell me it's the law, because the law is ambiguous.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
going to say,
Yep.
some people believe that, well, humans created right and wrong to keep control of society. So everything that runs somewhat, in order,
Yeah.
I
it's
think
not something from God.
I think we have to understand that evil people have existed from the very
Yes.
beginning.
Right.
Yes.
Because if we go back to Cain and Abel,
Yep.
we'll remember that at that point, you had what? What would be the, well, it doesn't matter. You had a 25% chance of being killed at that point, because when Cain killed Abel, there were only 4 people on the earth,
Yeah.
right? 4 people.
Yeah.
4 people. And one of them got murdered.
Yeah.
Your chances weren't real high.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got to think about it that way. It has always existed and it will always exist so long as we live in a world that allows it, and so long as God hasn't come back to wipe us out.
Well, and Cain being the first murderer, I heard, because I listened to, it's called The Great Courses, and right now I'm one on the Old Testament. And it's pretty good. Now, I will say, like, she's dean at some college or something, so she's looking at more of a, educational type of study, but it's still interesting. And she's looking at more like the Bible is like a bunch of folk tales that maybe do have some biblical meaning, but maybe these people didn't really exist.
Yeah.
Okay? So, but one thing that she mentioned was, okay, so Cain is the first murderer. And the fact that Cain is moving away from God before this process. So when he murders Abel, he doesn't really fully understand what he's actually done until it's happened.
Right.
Like, he doesn't know, like, okay, if I hit him over the head, if I stab him, whatever method I'm going to use, I don't realize that killing him he's not coming back. Like, they don't understand murder, but he doesn't understand it because he's already removed himself so far from
Correct.
God. So murder to him isn't that big a deal, but you're so far removed from things that you don't understand what, the consequences of what you're doing. And so I think about that with a lot of people that, are not Christians, that don't believe, or atheists. They look at things like that. Like, they don't see what the true consequences
Right.
are of doing some of the things that they do.
Yeah.
Because they're not
But
in that relationship.
What's interesting is they'll still recognize that murder is wrong,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or they'll still recognize that adultery is wrong, or they'll recognize that, whatever. How are you? What's
Yeah. Why,
What's that based on?
Why are you recognizing those things?
What is that based on? Because if you don't believe in God, then your morals can't be aligned with God,
Yeah.
right? Like, that doesn't make sense.
No, like basic human rights.
Okay, well, all right, that sounds fine. Now I want to remind us of something else. There was a time in the Bible when God was so sick of humans that he was going to kill us all,
Yep.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
He was going to wipe us all out. And what does it say? That Noah found favor with God.
Yeah.
And so he spared the family, Noah's family,
Yeah.
and allowed them to repopulate the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were now again essentially sinless, right? So
Yeah.
we gotta
Clean slate.
do over,
Restart.
right?
Yeah.
We got to do over, and all of a sudden here we are again in this place. And I mean, you even go back to all the other stuff that it wasn't like they came off the boat and everything was good.
Yeah. No.
It has been chaos. Then it's chaos now. It will be chaos in the future until Jesus returns. But the point is we know these things, and I read those stories as fact, right? I don't read
Right.
them
Right.
as
Yeah.
conjecture.
Lessons. Yeah.
This is a fact. This happened. If somebody once said to me, well, the whole world didn't flood, just the world that they knew. The Bible says that the world flooded.
Yeah.
And so if they wrote in the Bible that the world flooded, I have to assume that the world flooded.
Yeah.
Flooded.
The earth that God formed,
Yes,
flooded.
Yes.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there when, whatever. We can't, as Christians, only believe part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to believe the whole thing. We have to be able to look at it and say, you know what? That probably really did happen. And because it's in the Word of God, there's got to be some truth to it. Whether we understand it fully or not, I read an article about AI creating the mark of the beast. And I mean, I think this guy was out there, but I wasn't there. But one of the things that he said was in Revelation, they talk about the statue that stood, and then the statue could speak, and the statue could make people do things. And they're saying that was a robot. But back then, the word robot wasn't really a word.
Right.
So what he's trying to explain to us and give us in a vision is something that he couldn't truly explain.
Right.
Now, is that true? I don't know. But I won't know until Jesus comes back.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
So I don't worry myself with those things.
Yeah.
I do worry myself with how the world looks at the gospel and treats it as though it's not accurate or that it's whatever. I do think we've come a long way in translation and that we understand some of the words a little bit better. And I think that we should give some merit to the things that we've learned. And we should be able to look at the King James Version, or we should be able to go back and look at the Greek and Hebrew writings and say, oh, this is what we thought it meant.
Yeah.
But the actual translation was closer to this.
Right.
And that's what some of that great courses series is also trying to explain, is they're trying to explain to you the actual translation. Yeah.
And it's hard
That's
because,
always been fascinating to me.
Just like-
translation. Yeah.
you know, I have lots of Amish friends and they'll tell you there isn't a word in English for the word that we use in Dutch.
Yeah.
Like for us, it's called this, but how would I explain that to you in English? And you have to assume these ancient languages would be the same way, right?
Yeah.
They're not all going to translate word for word into what it is that we would understand. So, you know,
Well,
maybe
and I think sometimes even in the ancient Egyptian, like sometimes they're using the same symbol, but that doesn't necessarily mean it means the same thing every time.
Correct.
So it's just like they could have the same symbol for multiple words
Right.
or meanings.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so hard to translate it, is because, you think it means this because you've
You've read
out
it
part of the code.
in a million
Yeah.
different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So very interesting.
Good stuff.
All right. Roger, you want to pray us out?
I can.
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, we do thank you, Lord, for this day. Lord, we just ask that you would take and be with us, as we go out into the world, Lord. Allow us to bring Jesus to those that don't know him. Lord, we thank you for this season, Lord. We just know, Lord, that we celebrate this birth of Jesus.
Yes.
And we just thank you for this opportunity. Lord, we just ask you to take and be with each person that listens to this podcast or listens to any of our podcasts, Lord. Just have them have an open heart to hear the words that we say, Lord. It's, we have a good time. We talk about some of the most bizarre stuff, Lord, but we're bringing it to your people, and we just thank you for this opportunity. Lord, we just be with each person here, Lord. Be with those that are listening. Allow them to feel your presence. We just thank you and praise you, and we give you all the glory, Lord. We just ask us all in Jesus' most precious name. Amen.
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 Hey friends, Pastor Michael again. If you've enjoyed this podcast, you should consider joining us on Sunday mornings. Our address is 1943 North Water Street Extension in Yorksville. We'd love to have you join us for an in-person service.